is paradise.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Socios Podcastios, as it were. You're going to be joined by myself, Weefreemen, aka Tom Pickering, and also the lovely...
I'm Joe B. Grech, or some may know me as UnfunMid. Actually, let's just, first of all, let's address the issue here. What's this, Tom?
Moustache show. Why do you have a moustache?
I have a moustache because it's currently November, and every November people give money to charity to raise awareness for men's mental health, prostate, testicular cancer, and all those kinds of issues that men have. So go donate money if you're rich, if you're poor, anyone.
And we're also going to be joined by our lovely studio crew as usual. So on the camera we have Axel, and then studio manager Richard, and then Mr. Bito as well. There you go, Richard doing the classic dance as well.
Hey,
there you go.
You get to meet Axel for the first time.
Last time Axel was a little bit camera shy, but this time he's not so much. So we don't actually have a guest this time. It is just going to be me and Joe having a bit of banter.
I'm stuck with this guy for a whole hour.
Hey, you got to hang out with the Supernova guys, but we'll get into that later on. Yeah, so let's quickly go on and talk. I don't know, about a few things. So let's talk about the ECS finals. I know you had. When was it finished?
Last weekend.
Yeah, so I think I got a message from you like 2 a.m. just saying like this is insane. I was actually watching it at the time as well, so it was crazy, but some absolutely mental finishes. So what went down?
Sure. I mean, I guess like I didn't really pay attention to the group stages, but I watched the semi-finals and the finals. It was very interesting. It's good, for example, Mabir, like they played really well. This is the first time I've seen Mabir like playing so well. Thank you for that tip from the microphone. So yeah, Mabir was playing really well. It's good to see them starting to find their ground with their teamwork, and it can't be easy when you're like used to playing with just 5 Brazilians, and now you've got 2 NA players coming in, the likes of Tarek and Stewie. They call them snakes, I think. I love those guys. So that's just a joke. But yeah, so did you watch the finals?
Yeah, I mean I watched bits and pieces. They went on for so long.
Yeah, so there was some long matches. Yeah. So it was Mabir beat North 2-1. So one could argue that maybe they had a bit of an easier route into the finals because of obviously Liquid getting eliminated earlier in the group stages by NRG. That's a yikes. That's a yikes for me. Unfortunately, Team Liquid they didn't really show up. But hopefully they're in Malta right now. Let's see if they can find their form. Yeah,
and I mean they had quite an easy game earlier, but like I said, we keep going close to Supernova. I mean it is in Malta, so it is very close to the heart for us at the moment.
There's one thing I'd like to discuss, and that's Mabir in the finals almost just basically throwing. Like it was like, what was it, 15-14, like could have got to overtime, and they just decided to pop flash through smokes in mid versus pistols.
Yeah,
so
I think we have an asset for that, the video, but we'll give that 2 seconds, maybe I can pop it up. Go on then, guys. Go on, Beto. Bring up the clip. There you go. Let's play this and have a look at this. In the meantime, I think we need to turn Joe's microphone gain slightly down as well.
He's got to start moving now because he doesn't have information behind him. He's expecting it to be from the stairs.
Yeah, look at this clip. I mean, this is
device trying to work back in is giving away the fact that Citrix is coming from the
front. The video of Mabir jumping through.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
Oh, okay. Play the second one. Maybe I got it. Classic me. Yeah, this one. Go for that one. I can see it.
Smokes and presumably flashbangs coming in.
There you go. Absolutely.
Oh my god! It's the pistol! And Mages helped him out! They might have done it! 3 kills in a
spot. We're still ironing out.
No? Okay, fair enough. Maybe we're not going to be playing the clips then. Oh, no, it is live. There we go. I'm absolutely crazy. So, yeah, I mean, you can just see Magisk there. Going to be able to finish off those few kills. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, and then Device that's starting that off as well. I mean, what have you got to say about that?
I mean, I don't know what to say about that other than Mabir were playing so well when they were going for the methodical plays, and they actually, a few rounds before, maybe 5 rounds before, they did exactly the same strategy versus the similar weapons of Astralis, and it didn't work. So I really would like to know what was going on in their heads, and therefore it would be a good idea to just pop flash through that smoke and try and catch them off guard. Maybe they misread the play because Astralis had some early aggression towards Banana with Molotov and some smoke. So maybe it was just a misread. Maybe they thought they were stacking heavy towards B, so they thought they could, cheeky pop flash through the smoke. But nope. They do have Stewie though. He's the smoke criminal. So, but apparently not.
What maps were they on in total? What were the 3 maps they played?
What was the first map? I think it was the first map. What was the first map? It was Inferno.
Was Inferno the first one, or was it Mirage?
Inferno was the first one, and then it was Overpass.
All right, yeah.
They banned, maybe they obviously banned Nuke, which is good. Like, you know what, you do not want to play Astralis on Nuke. Nuke already is a really hard map to play, and then when you're against Astralis, it's just like running into a brick wall, really. So,
you know who I do want to talk about is Tarek, though.
Tarek had some good highlights. Tarek played pretty well.
And I mean, he's definitely been one hell of like a former character when it comes to sort of his development throughout the whole of like the CS, his time in CS rather. And it's good to see him kind of like falling into place with Mibir, as it were. I was a bit surprised to see him get picked up, but I was definitely happy because it didn't seem like he would really fit in too well anywhere else. I think he'd mentioned about potentially coming over to the EU at some point. But I'm glad he stayed over.
Yeah, I think there was some rumours that he was going to join Space Soldiers, being Turkish and all.
Yeah, Turkish heritage, he's got that. But I think we've got a video of his ace as well, if we could bring that up, guys. It was that first video that you played when I made the mistake.
1 versus 4 ace. Absolutely banger of a clip here. Unfortunately, I can't see it because
Molotov,
program is not a program.
And Device still finds an angle on his
You see, he just finds those 1v1s, and I think Astralis didn't really think that he was actually going to do it. You know when you're watching someone clutch, you just can kind of say like he's going to do it. Like usually when you're watching like someone like Zipnix, for example, like he's in that 1v3 or 1v4, and you just have that like feeling inside of you, which is like he's going to clutch it. And I had that feeling. I was watching Tarek pushing on and finding those 1v1s, and I was like, after we got like the second kill, I was like, he's won it, like 100% he's won it, and yeah, that's that. Like, unfortunately, he didn't win the game.
Yeah, but you're playing against the by far best team in the world,
for sure,
and have been pretty much champions for the last 2 years, I'd have to say.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I'm just waiting for a team to finally sort of pucker up, and you know what, Mibba, if they stop rushing through smokes, maybe they could challenge them.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I would say on par with them is the Navi, for sure. Team Liquid can always kind of take a map or try and contest with some close matches, but the Astralis make very little mistakes, and when you make very little mistakes, it's very hard to play against. So I think that if Liquid get more drilled, they keep practicing. I think Liquid could also contest it, but it's cool to see Mabir like kind of rising. Obviously Fallen, he's by far one of the best players in the game. Like his brain is huge, and he's a great in-game leader, and he's an amazing AWPer. So.
He's insane. Did you see that video from ages ago where was it Dazed was going through his breaking down his AWPing on train?
Yes, I think I saw that.
That was some insane, and then he watched it back like, what are you doing? Giving away his strats, and he is definitely one of the craziest IGLs, especially the fact that he's AWPing at the same time. So he has to be so precise in his movement.
Yeah.
But I think that's definitely attributes to his ability to IGL, is because he has to realize where everyone is. And he keeps track of where the enemy movements as well.
I think Fallen playing how he was in the finals was kind of what was needed. Like him and chiliZ, they were hitting their shots. If the other two, although Tarek did have some highlight plays as we've just seen, he wasn't really playing consistently. He was kind of whiffing shots and not finding the right engagement. So. If they kind of iron those issues out and get chiliZ firing, Fallen firing, Stewie firing, all of them, I can see them beating Astralis. We just need chiliZ to do some jumping AWP shots and get some ridiculous clips.
That was insane. Good old Mirage. And I think I saw today Red Eye saying it's actually the anniversary of the Olaf pass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, today. What was it? 4 years old today.
Jeez.
How insane is that?
I feel old, Tom. I feel like I haven't been into esports for that long, but apparently I have.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Olaf Masters is a reference to when Fnatic versus LDLC. What game was it? was it DreamHack? I think it was DreamHack.
Probably.
And so Fnatic actually used a boost, 3-man boost, on the overpass. Actually, yeah, I think it was 4-man boost technically, and how they did it.
Yeah.
And Olaf was using a scout to shoot down towards where was it?
B-side, by like water area.
Yeah,
outside
short,
B.
short,
Yeah.
B short. And it was just insane. It
Yeah.
was against LDLC. LDLC didn't see where it was coming at all, and like whole of Fnatic got penalised for it. Massive kerfuffle.
Massive kerfuffle. And now you've got like the Reddit account Fnatic Manager. Whenever someone posts like a boost, everyone's like, delete this, you know?
Yeah, I found a glitch on Old Nuke where you could actually walk around the outside like of what's it called? You know
The railings?
yeah,
The railings.
yeah, I found a way to be able to walk around the edge.
Oh
of the
yeah, the
building.
pixel walk.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
I happened to just find that by myself and then posted a video of it.
Do you play by yourself a lot?
Yes, Joe. Yes, I do. You know, but you know what I love doing as well is getting checkups because it's Movember.
Yes, exactly. Nice one.
Got to slide that one in there. So, yeah,
Literally.
you know, put the cold gloves on. Can't make that
Okay.
sound. I'm not even going to try. Let's move away from that topic.
That's not the sound, is it? That's not the sound.
No, not at all. Right. What about Supernova? We've been trying to hint towards it the whole time.
Yeah.
It's because it's here.
Yeah,
It's going
here.
on now. Today's
It's here.
first day's gone off. So, what is Supernova? Where's it happening?
Sure.
Where are we, in fact? Because I don't think many people know.
Well, we are actually in Malta. We're in Malta.
Venezuela.
The sunny Malta, and they're actually kind of pushing towards making esports a bigger thing here, with the government announcing a budget towards like an esports budget. I think it's like 1.6, 1.8, somewhere around there.
Around there.
1.8 million. A few, yeah, just over almost 2 million euros towards the development of esports here in Malta, which is great. And one of the leaders, I'd say that there's like two main. I wouldn't call them rivals. I don't really know the politics between them two. But there's Quickfire, which is owned by the Eden Group, which is kind of this entertainment group here in Malta, and they own like a hotel, Super Bowl, which is bowling alley, cinema. So these guys have money to spend and invest in growing the esports scene, and they're hosting their first ever esports event here. And it's at the Intercontinental Hotel. I was there Wednesday night hanging out with one of the organizers, Nikolai Gauchi. Great guy. I wish them all the success. He's a very hardworking guy. He was on the phone like every 5 minutes. Someone's calling him on 3 hours sleep. So yeah, it's great to see kind of esports come to Malta. Like Malta's like one of my favorite countries. Obviously now I lived here for like almost 6 months now, and you know, blockchain, esports, everything just seems to be going great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So I was actually watching the matches. I was like trying to plan some stuff, like trying to work, and then I had on my second screen. I was watching some of the matches. Obviously, the first match of the day. Or actually, no. Let's just first bring it back and talk about the slight technical issue. And it actually wasn't their fault. You know how Valve likes to do those sneaky updates. Yeah.
Every time you have to
Every event.
You have to pray to Gaben to not get those updates.
Yeah, like every event, I feel like Valve just has like this red button. Like they look at like the schedules, like CS:GO in the morning EU time, send the update. So obviously they had to update their servers and probably get people to change their clients and everything. It was a bit of a kerfuffle for a good. You used the word kerfuffle earlier, didn't you? You put words into my head.
I
don't like that word.
It's because I used it last time, and now I'm gonna put it into every single one.
So
of
it's
our
your
episodes.
word now.
Well, it's like a very English word. So
Yeah.
kerfuffle.
What word can I have?
Kerfuffle.
No, I don't want that word.
Kerfuffle.
I want noise.
Noise.
Nice. Yeah, so first game of the day after the technical issues got ironed out was Big versus Tyloo.
There you go.
You know, I would have expected Big to be kind of, you know, having the upper hand versus Tyloo. Obviously, Tyloo have, you know, they seem a bit inconsistent at events. Sure, they can cause some upsets, and they you know, they do go on some good runs, but, you know, they're big. They have, like, young Smoo.
I mean, he wasn't really happy with his performance.
No.
I
I was actually with Smoo here on Wednesday, and we were just talking about a few things.
Alright, show off.
That's not showing off. I'm trying to give entertainment here to the podcast. What are you doing?
Not much.
Does
mate.
anyone in the Twitch chat want to come sit next to me and be my co-host?
Oh, I think I'll have to fire you, mate. So, what were you talking to?
I think Smooya was like, you know, he said practice was going well, and like he was happy with like the team's performance and everything. But when it got into the game, you know, it was kind of close to start with. You know, it was a bit slow start for Big, but it all turned around when they rushed B with pistols. You know, overpass, rush B, pistols. Why not?
They're not even Na'Vi.
No, they're not even Na'Vi. They rushed B with pistols. I think Tizian got some couple quick P250 kills and secured the bomb site, and that kind of led them to get a couple of rounds and get a bit of economy. But yeah, it ended up with the first half ending 7-8 to Tyloo. So you know, that's not a bad scoreline. 7 rounds on T side of overpass. You know, it's not a bad start. But unfortunately, CT side's all about building your economy, and Big did not really get a chance to do that, having to save after save after save. Tabson saved the AUG 3 rounds in a row, so he literally had an AUG 3 rounds in a row, pistols and everything, and it ended up actually a close storyline. You know,
so it's not bad. I mean, I guess something interesting to talk about, and you're bringing up economy. So quite recently, within the last couple of months, they changed, like Valve changed the economy quite drastically when they brought in like the higher amount of money.
Yeah.
So I mean, have you seen like a big effect from that come into this?
I think usually the meta would be to lose the pistol, force buy.
Yeah.
And I feel like what they've done is kind of good because of in the lower ranks of CS:GO, players were always saving anyway, and it came like if I'm smurfing, like I'm global elite, face at level 10, everything. When I'm smurfing in like Gold Nova, we lose the pistol, and everyone will be like, guys, eco, please, eco, you know, we need to save money. I'm like, no, we need to force buy, and they're like, man, why you buy purple, why you buy? And I'm just like, you know.
And then you swear back at them. I've sat next.
Swear. I don't swear. I'm a good boy.
All right, that's why my. Moving on swiftly. So, I mean, the economy is definitely an interesting change. And,
yes.
Although it brought like a lot of hate, it hasn't actually done something like massively drastic.
No, I think there's now a bigger risk. Like, for example, if you want to force buy in the second round, it's a bigger risk. You know, you're going to have a slower start. Now, if you save, it's harder for teams to get that 3-round lead. Obviously, winning the pistol round, you know, you're almost guaranteed the next 2 rounds if you play it right. Use utility, send one guy in with an SMG, find where they are. But now we're seeing teams saving on the second round and then buying rifles and equipment on the third round. So it's now leading to 2-1 matches all the time. That's good. I think that's good. It's added more balance and made everything a kind of bit less. You know, pistol rounds add a bit of randomness because obviously when you've got the best players in the world competing, you know, it's pretty 50-50. I could flip a coin. You know, there's only a limited amount of strats you can do on pistol rounds. So
yeah, and I mean, it's been a game. It's been around for such a long time, and with Valve, we've seen them trying to bring in like sort of new metas, change old metas. Obviously, part of the old metas is the sort of like how you buy as an economy when you save, and that's where the economy changes come in. Because they've obviously got to try and keep everyone interested, but you have to respect them that they're not going like drastic changes, and they haven't done anything absolutely stupid
like
the revolver.
Bringing out a revolver.
Yeah, they haven't done anything like that in ages. And there was like
the
AUG as well, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, they haven't actually done anything really stupid.
Yeah.
When they lowered the price of the Negev, I got a bit worried because of that's like a laser. It's a laser gun, and when you play in like MM in a low rank, when people start losing, they just buy a Negev and they could kill you through smoke constantly. It's like because if they just hold an angle and just spray it's like a AWP machine gun.
I mean it's still quite fun. I mean whenever I've played like low rank games,
just crouching around the wall.
Yeah. And what was I going to say? I mean, they're actually quite concentrated, I'd imagine, on their Battle Royale game mode, which is
that's spicy.
Pretty spicy.
Yeah, I mean, there has like I think last year there were lots of references in the files of updates that were leading to like a survival island, and then there was loads of new client variables added to the like main branch of CS:GO, and people started picking up. Once the name would be Valve News Network. His channel's great for kind of breaking down potential updates and rumors in CS:GO and all of Valve's titles. So hats off to him for kind of bringing that attention. And then you got a guy called Norse on Twitter. He always breaks stuff down, and usually I hear about it from him first. So they recently added a new one in the Halloween update, and it was, or was it the Halloween update, or was it one after?
I think it was the one after when they removed the Halloween. They added
It was something to do with spectating. I can't. It was like it had the word survivor in it. So when you have the word survivor on a map called Survival Island or something like this, is Battle Royale coming to CS:GO?
Yeah.
It
Well,
makes
you know,
sense.
I'm looking forward to talk about it on this podcast. But let's finish off wrapping up about Supernova, so we move on to a few other bits. So let's bring up an image quickly of Supernova, which should be asset 3, if I'm right in saying. It's actually, if we have it,
no, not that one.
It's yeah, no, that's not it. But either way, that's fine if we don't have it. I mean, it's 150,000 prize pool.
Yes,
Absolutely ridiculous. There's eight
teams.
8 teams. What are those 8 teams?
There's NRG, Kinguin, Liquid, VP, Big, Hellraisers, Gambit, Tyloo.
It's right there.
There we go. Thank you. Thanks.
You nailed them off,
Vito.
and I'm just like on my fingers.
I got them. I got them all. That's good, Vito. Thank you very much. So I guess let's just finish off by talking about the other games. There's NRG versus Kinguin. Kinguin, you know, their roster has been up and down and all over the place. The new additions, but they didn't look too bad, to be honest. Playing on Train, obviously. You know, Polish teams have been known to be very good on Train, but NRG did struggle to kind of close out the match where you would think they would almost steamroll them. Ended up going to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, NRG is such an impressive team.
Yeah.
I remember last...
Cirque.
Yeah, Cirque is one hell of a diamond in the rough. And he's half in the rough now, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for some big team to like pick him up and be like, it's mine. Although, I mean...
NRG not a big team.
NRG are a big team, to be fair, but I wouldn't say they're made that successful in CS:GO.
Yeah,
so
I
we'll see.
agree.
But I mean, I remember casting Epicenter last year, and that was when they were kind of coming through.
Yeah. I rate Fugly a lot. Like Fugly is he's a great player. He's not ugly either. Like his name is very ironic because he's a very good looking chap.
Yeah, because I mean, you think like, hang on, with a name like that, he's going to be a bit.
What
ugly.
thought process? Like, I mean, when I've come up with like names like for Steam and stuff, like I've never just thought I'm gonna call myself Fugly, and I know I am. So like. It's like me calling myself Beautiful Boy.
You are beautiful, Joe.
Thank you. Let's go on. Obviously, NRG beat Kinguin. Then it was Gambit versus Hellraisers. Pretty standard match. Not really anything worth talking about, but HR won 16-9. Hellraisers looking good with Woxic now and Issa. Yep. Both some really talented players coming into the mix there. Have you watched many of the games recently?
Been in meetings and busy all day, so unfortunately... Unlike you, don't get to go and sit next to them. But you know what? I'm thankful you did because there's been some interesting information come out from you, and it would have been great to have this after the fact. But you know what? We can talk about it next week. Depends on who we have on.
Yeah.
If we just do another banter session like this. But on let's move on because there's obviously a lot more going on in the esports world, and we've spoken about CS:GO for pretty much the whole thing so far. And although it is
why stop?
It's our favorite.
It's our bread
area.
and butter.
Yeah. But let's talk about Fortnite because that's obviously got quite a lot going on. Your favorite game, you know?
Fortnite. Is that the game? Is that one made by that Swedish developer Notch, where you like build?
Yeah.
I thought it was Minecraft.
Pretty much. I mean, that is where Hunger Games came from. So
that is, well, it came from a book which turned into a film, which turned into another film, which then turned into a Minecraft plugin, and that's where I came from. Actually, I came from the Minecraft world.
Yeah, explains a lot. So let's talk about the Fortnite Winter Royale. So we do have an asset you guys can't see. So we're going to be talking about the Fortnite Winter Royale. Let's go through that a little bit because there's obviously going to be some online tournament fixes that are in it.
You can see it on the screen now. Fortnite Winter Royale. It was announced on the 11th. No, the 20th. Sorry, American dates. I hate American dates. Why America? So it was on the 20th of November. Announced $1 million open tournament. Open, which means that anyone can qualify. So, you know, when it's an open qualifier on a game that hasn't been out for so long, what happens, Tom?
People don't play it.
No, that's not what I'm getting to.
People cheat.
Yes.
Joe,
thank you. Can everyone put your hands together? Yes, there's cheaters. And I mean, when you have a free-to-play game, and you know, it's hard to find really good anti-cheats out there. And when it comes to playing for online qualifiers, it happens in every game. We've seen it in CS:GO for years. You know, it's probably been done in PUBG, but obviously you probably know more about that than me. So for it to happen in Fortnite, I mean, I hate to say it, everyone saw it coming.
Yeah.
But they did acquire Easy Anti-Cheat, I guess, was it a couple of months ago?
Yeah, I think it was about a month and a half ago.
Month and a half ago, acquired one of the most known free anti-cheats for people to plug their game into. Is it called Easy because it's good, or no?
I don't really have high, but the thing is with like anti-cheat, it's so hard to do.
It's cat and mouse.
And I mean, people like obviously like currently cheating inside the actual game and like the actual tournament. So if we actually have a clip of if we bring that up.
If we bring this clip up, it's basically a streamer Tifu just getting absolutely destroyed by a cheater, and it was actually kind of reported on quite a big few big news publications.
I mean, it's got to be when you reportedly say, "Oh, we've got $1 million."
Yeah,
this guy's cheating,
bro. Have a game which is gonna have cheaters. It's not exactly great.
I knew this guy was fucking cheating, man.
Not really gonna get you. Oh no, let's carry on watching this. But I mean, you're gonna get cheaters when there's 1 million. It doesn't matter what you do if they're gonna be super like putting a piece of blue tack on the screen from like the old school ways of cheating.
That wasn't cheating. Come on. I always did that in COD, you know.
Yeah.
Join a quick scope lobby, just stick that blue tack on the center of your screen.
You got to do it every advantage, unless you're getting software and cheating with it. And I mean, I started commenting on it, but it's very hard to build like a proper anti-cheat, including like the.
It's getting harder.
Yeah, I mean, there's what is the other one that like Armor uses and stuff.
Battle-Eye.
Battle-Eye. Yeah, I mean, Battle-Eye has some really bad moments, and I mean, I know PUBG have been or were using it. I think they've moved away from it now.
Yeah, H1Z1 used Battle-Eye. I don't know if they still do it, but they did.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe one of the 5,000 players out there can tell us.
Could be worse. Could be Battalion with 40 players. But
yeah. But I mean, when it comes to that, they actually have massive like leaks with their like actual user base. So they gave out a ton of information. So when you're on like an anti-cheat like company and you get hacked, it's kind of a bad sign.
Yeah. That's definitely not good.
Yeah. And obviously alongside Fortnite, there's PUBG and there's the Pro League coming on.
Yeah.
So what's going on in Kiev? Because there's something recently.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too political or touch much on it, but they actually, I was looking at the news the other day, they actually have declared martial law in surrounding kind of border with Russia regions. At least that's what I saw on the BBC, so don't shoot me, I'm just a messenger. BBC reported that there is martial law declared. That's hard to say. In the surrounding areas of where Ukraine borders with Russia. Kiev not affected, but it leads to some uncertainty because obviously Kiev is almost becoming like a esports hub, almost like in the CIS region now. It's a lot easier to access for Europeans. So you know you got StarLadder there. You've got
as in you're saying it's easy to access. It kind of is, but I mean it's also out of the way from feedback from players. They're just like it's actually really annoying.
Yeah, but isn't Moscow harder to get to?
Yeah, but I'm talking in regards to just on like a whole Europe and.
No, I was saying for the CIS region.
Oh,
so
sorry,
like
yeah,
for the kind of like Russian regions, you know, ex-USSR. You know, Kiev isn't a bad location.
No.
So yeah, they've got StarLadder there. You got the PUBG. What's PUBG?
So I mean, they're gonna have the Pro League European and sort of the MEA sort of region qualifies the PEL qualifiers, close qualifiers.
You like abbreviations, don't you?
It's not me. This is PUBG, mate. Which is an abbreviation in itself.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Player Unknown Battlegrounds is quite a mouthful.
Really bad name.
But
love the guy.
Yeah, and I mean StarLadder here, they're actually doing the production.
Yeah, that's true. Forgot to mention
Supernova,
that.
So
Supernova is
going to be really
done.
high quality. Go make sure to check out Supernova.
Yeah. Twitch.tv/quickfire, I think.
Yeah. We'll see. Go.
Don't go there now. Like, stay here.
Yeah. But are they even on right now? I don't think they are.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they are because they're
the
doing
end game show or something.
Yeah, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Yeah, something like that. Long days.
10 p.m. Not.
One thing I wanted to bring about Supernova is they are very welcoming of giving people chances. So like they've got some lesser known casters getting a shot to like be on quite a big prize pool event. So that's good. That's how I always like to see that. Even people from like the back to the when ECS did the development. What is it? The development challenge for casters.
Caster development.
Yeah.
The community development league.
Okay, right. So yeah, they have some guys from that, and I met them too, and they're all nice guys, and they know their stuff. So
yeah, and I mean that's just quickly segment about it very quickly. So we have Banks, so James Banks, absolutely lovely guy. I know you met him. We have Mitch Man, who's one of the up-and-coming talents as well. He's an analyst. We've got Maniac, the sort of ex-player. We've got Sponge, ex-player, and now a fantastic analyst. We've got Scriv, who's an up-and-coming caster.
I like Scriv, he's cool.
Dinko, and then Dean, one of the Irish lads, absolutely fantastic guy. And then also Hawker, who actually won the ECS, I think, last, and he actually got to cast it live with, if I'm right in saying, actually Mitch Man, maybe? I can't remember which one of them won. And then we have Henry G, and then, you know, good old Sadikist.
Yeah, Sadikist, he's my boy. He's my boy.
The current two best casters, in my opinion, and I think most people's.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, Sadikist is definitely at least the top caster in CSGO right now. And you could almost argue almost in esports. Like, he's very versatile. Like, he can dive into a new game like PUBG, for example, and put on a show. Yeah,
okay. Let's move on. I think the third or fourth time now from Supernova, but I'm sure we'll speak finally.
We just love CSGO, right? I mean, who doesn't? It's a great game. So, buy CSGO.
Let's talk about something quite close to our hearts and also quite edgy.
Edgy?
Well, it's going to get edgy
I like
in some things we're going to be talking about, and it's something that's been going on Twitter and across the space for the last sort of 2 years is blockchain getting into it. And so obviously we just brought up Red Eye here, and he's sort of bringing in like, when you're coming into esports, claiming it is in its infancy and you're going to revolutionize it, expect people to be skeptical. And I mean, this is really referring to a few different companies. I'm not going to go around naming names.
It's basically almost every company like kind of doing their esports blockchain venture. Loads of new teams popping up with, I'd say, little experience or little advisory, just popping up out of nowhere and claiming they're going to revolutionize or disrupt an industry, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, talking about that, we actually have one of the owners call someone a dinosaur. And if we bring up Asset 6 here, we've got a tweet from Sir Scoots. And you can actually see it's like what the owner actually called Paul Chandler, who's Red Eye, a dinosaur. Like, well, you know what? It's not even just Paul. It was
and you've made a little meme as well.
Yeah, I made a meme. It was pretty decent, but it's actually I don't know if any of you guys know. There was let's move off that now. So Red Eye said brutal, savage, wrecked.
He did.
And so someone commented that we needed a
dinosaur
GIF with the dinosaur head on Red Eye's head. So I went ahead and did it, and then added Rex as well because it's funny. I'm a funny guy.
Not bad.
Resident memer. With
someone in chat just said, of course, Tom is plugging his memes.
Yeah, you know, if you want to reach out and if you want some quality memes, you can find me at www.twitter.com/WeFreemenYT.
Couldn't you have just said, like, at WeFreemenYT?
No. Got to do the whole thing.
Fine. www.twitter.com/JoeBGrech, Grech.
Okay, cool.
Follow me, don't follow him. He's not cool.
Right,
he
anyway.
Thinks he's cool.
Yeah, so I mean, when you have people like this coming into the industry and be like, you're a dinosaur,
you're
pretty much dead.
Yeah. Some of the most respected people in the industry who have built this.
the people like, I mean, Sir Scoots, for example, used to own EG and then made millions.
Yeah.
A ridiculous amount of money, and he's now just sat on his arse like... And this is all money to him.
Is that where you want to be?
Selling his money.
Do you want to sell your money?
No.
No.
Who needs money when you got crypto?
Who needs money when you have a great job?
Exactly.
Shout out to the job.
Yeah, you know.
Podcastios.
We get to make Podcastios.
Socios.com. You can.
Let's get
I've just noticed our names are wrong. Like, look, I'm Weefreemen and you're Joe B. Grech. It's okay. It's fine.
Quality.
Anyway, yeah. So when you come into esports, not just blockchain companies, but any kind of company, you know, you need to do it right because esports fans are very particular. Why are they particular?
Because we've built it up from the ground.
Yeah.
Like it's our baby, Joe.
Yeah. Like not just us, obviously. We haven't really paid that much part in building esports, but like the legends like Richard Lewis, Sir Scoots, Red Eye, you know, those guys have been around for so long and they've really like worked. They put sweat and blood. Like some of them have had very, very hard lives bringing esports out. Esports didn't pay. Yeah. Like, you know, you were like sleeping on people's couches. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Richard Lewis is quite open about his struggles and what he's gone through. So, I mean, back in the day, he used to do sort of a lot of sort of boxing coverage and actually boxed quite a bit himself as well. And he's quite open. He's by far the best journalist I know.
Yeah.
Very true to true to his word. I mean, he's very much open to the fact that he's slept on beds, he slept on like floors, just so that he could help and get involved in esports. And obviously, some of it's going to get fluffed up a little bit, but it's very much how it happened.
He's a great guy.
And now he's living in Vegas.
Yeah, living the life, working for a big company.
Yeah, I mean, he owns part of ESP, if I'm right in saying, as the talent director. Pretty much says, fuck y'all, when people are like...
Yeah. I like him because he's not afraid to call people out on their bullshit.
Yeah. And I mean, one of the biggest issues, I think, with a lot of blockchains, and obviously as a company, we're within this part of the people coming into it, but what we're not doing is saying that we're going to reinvent the wheel. We're not going to revolutionize. So if we bring up Asset 7, we can see Sir Scoot's calling this out as well.
Yeah. There's no need to revolutionize esports. Esports is having a very kind of good period right now with the growth. You don't want to anger someone like Sir Scoots. If he's tweeting this about your company, you're doing it wrong, because how are anyone gonna how's anyone gonna work with you in the future? If those guys don't like you, then there's no point trying. Really, you may as well just give up. Go back to your galaxy where you came from, and ooh, we're getting edgy.
That's an intergalactic reference there.
Yeah, that is very intergalactical. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for people like being entrepreneurial and trying to build something from life. Obviously, we have limited time here, and people obviously want to be innovative and all of that. And we're living in an era where that kind of lifestyle is beautified. The Elon Musk, funding secured. No, I mean, like everyone should try, but you need to kind of know when you should slow down or shut up, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. And I mean, it's really important for us to be able to make sure that people realize that we're not going to sort of go against our word. We're very much trying to work with esports, not reinvent it and try and drag it a different direction. So, I mean, I guess for people to learn a little bit more about us, where would they go?
Where would they go? I mean, chiliZ.com. chiliZ.com, Socios.com.
Yep.
I think those are the best channels to really find out about what we're doing. But we're not revolutionizing esports. We're just trying to give fans more of a voice with their favorite sport or esport. And it's pretty simple. If people don't want to use our product, it doesn't. People have the choice. But we inject some money into esports through various different things over the next few months, and I think things are going to go pretty well. Yeah,
and I mean, obviously, there's quite a few sort of different ones out there. So there's obviously there's us, there's StreamTeam.gg,
Epic. What's the card one? Epics.
Oh God, what was it? I don't know.
Epics.gg.
I think it's Epics.gg.
Which I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this.
And that's like pretty much you pay crypto for these cards.
Yeah.
Your favorite team, and it's pretty interesting.
I think the kind of the issue with crypto right now is applications and products not being user friendly. It's like for example, people don't know how to first of all acquire the cryptocurrency to start using it. There's obviously some regulation issues places, unlike Malta where we've got the good life over here. But there's regulation issues which causes bad user experience, which causes crypto to get a bad name in certain ways because of crypto kitties is a cool concept, but is that the future? Am I going to be
I hope not.
having crypto cats breeding and showing them off to people?
But they breed.
Yeah, you breed them.
And I mean,
it makes a new cat because that's how it works when people are in love.
Okay. So I mean, just to be clear, Joe's definitely the crypto king when it comes out of us too. I'm definitely not.
I wouldn't call myself a king. Prince.
Okay.
The blockchain prince.
Yeah. Where's your purple?
Purple.
Yeah. Reference to Prince.
I mean, it's behind me.
So I mean, it would be actually quite interesting to know from your side, so I can have a bit of education as well, because I'm always asking them questions, and well, to be honest, everyone here is. If someone was wanted to be able to get more into crypto and actually say if I wanted, I think I have a wallet on Coinbase.
You think?
Yeah, and I do have one on Trust Wallet. But I mean, when it comes to wallet to use, is Trust Wallet one we should or?
Yeah. So we're the official partner of Trust Wallet. So they're a wallet that was created. I don't know when it was created, but it was acquired by Binance over the summer. Obviously, Binance, the world's leading cryptocurrency exchange. So it's really simple. You could just download the Trust Wallet app on your phone. you create a wallet, you get a backup phrase, you want to store that phrase safely. There's actually a guide on our website how to do this. If you go to chiliZ.com, there's a guide on how to set up your first crypto wallet. So yeah, I mean, crypto seems really confusing, but once you start learning the terms and learning kind of how the industry works, it's actually quite easy to get the hang of it and understand it. I mean, like wallets, private keys, public keys. Once you understand those phrases and buy your first bit of crypto, you know, you're going to get addicted. It's like heroin. Not that I would know.
Let's not go comparing crypto to heroin, Joe. But
it's the shit.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Yeah, fair enough. But not at the moment. Apparently, it's low value shit.
I mean, you know, we're in what's called a bear market, and during a bear market, you know, everyone. The worst thing about the bear market is the people. So I'm fully bullish, 100% long term, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. I don't care. I'm in this. I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in on my life and money and stuff. So it's like, I don't get caught up in the depression, which is basically, it's not just a market depression, it's a people depression. So you're seeing on forums, everyone's like, oh, it's all over. Like you go to 4chan and you see some like crying purple Wojaks or pink Wojaks, sorry. And it's just like, no, like it's not. Because markets have cycles. There's bull markets, bear markets, and like, you know, we've reached what I would call like a correction right now. So obviously we had a crazy bull run last year, at the end of last year, Bitcoin reaching like 21K. You know, it's going to correct. And we shouldn't expect it to just go up and up, because that's not how life works, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to your point you sort of brought up was the accessibility and usability.
Yeah.
Like, what are we looking to do to be able to make that easier for people?
Sure. So basically, there's many ways that you can do this. People right now are mostly buying from exchanges like Coinbase, which it can be slow. You have to go through some processes there. But we're like on our apps, on our Socios app. This feels like we're plugging a bit too much. But on the Socios app, to be able to buy the chiliZ tokens, which allow you to buy the fan tokens directly with your credit or debit card and PayPal, etc., etc. So it's more about those apps bridging the gap between like, let's say I want to take this app to my 60-year-old granddad, and him to be able to work it out. It's like once we reach that stage, then we're going to see crypto rise in every way, not just price, because that's not something I focus on. I focus on adoption, and I think that's what our product is all about, really.
Okay, so I mean, wouldn't people see this way? Well, you actually depend on like fiat currency, as in normal currencies, to be able to actually make this product work. So are they just like, well, what's the point in this? What would you say if someone says that to you?
Oh, sorry, can you?
So if someone comes along and says, oh, I have to use real cash to buy crypto, what's the point? Like, if you're making it easier, why not just use cash instead?
Sure. I mean, there's many reasons why you would use a blockchain on your project, which means that, you know, you can't just use a fiat currency. You need some sort of token layer. You could use just Ethereum or another blockchain's native coin, but there's like enhanced security. You know, keeping your funds secure on the platform and like protection against hacking. So no one can just hack in, change the database value, and profit from your product.
Yeah, and I mean, so security is a big thing within that, and it is very important to be very sort of clear and that's one thing I do love about the whole project. And I've had a few thoughts of my own as to how the blockchain can be used, not specifically just crypto, and that's a really big difference to make. Is blockchain isn't crypto. They are two different things.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a private blockchain which has no token at all, and it's just, you know, just transactions and storing private data. Like IBM have just launched a private blockchain. You know,
insane. Yeah, and I mean, I was speaking to the CTO of IBM over in Miami in September, and he was just like, yeah, well, we look after the Dubai government's blockchain where they store all of their information. I was like, hang on, what? That's insane.
Yeah, but
like,
people don't seem to talk about this.
No.
People just care about price.
And if you think like it's at that stage already, think of how long they've been at this. And
I mean, there's rumors that like companies such as Google or Facebook have like already like hundreds of blockchain like developers. So like, change is coming. And when a company, for example, like Facebook, if they were to adopt a product that uses a blockchain, you know, if they were to, for example, have Facebook Coin or have every user of Instagram have their own wallet, that's injecting like 1 billion wallets out there into existence, which is great for adoption. And people will get curious and like be like, "What's this wallet? I want some fun coins,
Fun
some
coin.
chiliZ tokens.
Yeah, I mean it's about the security and it's about the future, and that's where we're heading this whole time. I mean, this isn't.
We're heading to the moon, Tom.
We haven't quite got the hovering skateboard yet,
No,
but you never know. You might be able to buy a hovering skateboard with some
crypto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Right now, you can just buy beer.
Or that there is actually a Twitch channel that Joe likes to watch, and you can actually feed chickens.
Yeah.
With,
There's
with Bitcoin.
Bitcoin Cash.
Which
Feed
is-
chickens with Bitcoin Cash.
Which is I just love that.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and you also posted the picture of a.
Yeah, there was in Valletta, there was a guy playing a guitar for crypto, and he was a pretty good singer as well. But I questioned the kind of what's the right word?
Quality.
No.
Reasoning.
Yes, the reasoning. So right as he was doing that, there was a blockchain summit going on. So I mean, that's what we call smart marketing, right?
Yeah.
Smart marketing. So he understands there's a blockchain summit going on. So he decided to print some QR codes of 4 different cryptocurrencies to donate it to. I donated €5 to him, posted him on Reddit and Twitter, and by the next day he had like $50. So that's the power of the crypto community.
Yeah, and I mean that's definitely one thing that's really positive about it. There's a lot coming out of it, and I know Binance have been doing a ridiculous amount towards like the charity side.
Yeah.
And, I guess we'll talk about it as well is Tron just announced today, if I'm right in saying, their plans for putting up to about 100 million into the development of
gamer-based blockchains, which is great. I mean, like we need these companies that have raised a lot of money, who have a lot of money in the blockchain industry, to invest in the development of apps. Because you can have a blockchain, but like, what's a blockchain with no apps? So Ethereum has right now the leading amount of apps, which is what we're planning to be built on. But there's obviously other players in the game like Tron who brag faster transactions per second and more decentralized, but we won't go too much into that. But yeah, I mean, injecting money back into your ecosystem is a great idea, and it's a great initiative.
Yeah, it's great. I just want to, I guess, refer back to a couple of things. Let's just go through a bit of a wrap up. So when it comes to CS:GO, do you think it's a dying game? Do you think it's going to be here for a long time, or do you think?
No. Sorry. Right now, I'd say it's at a steady place. Like, for example, Valve have been way more active over the past few months than we've ever seen Valve be active. There's something you can correlate with this.
Yeah.
I was watching Valve News Network the other day, and he was saying how the Dota dev team have suddenly got more quieter. And it's interesting to think about this. Dota 2 has obviously been seen as the love child of Valve, always getting the updates and the cool stuff, and their $25 million prize pools that CSGO has never seen. Although you could argue CSGO has a larger fan base of viewership. But yeah, I mean, they've been more communicative. Communicative? Is that the right word? I don't know. It sounds bad, but you know what I'm trying to say. They've been communicating with the community more, and they've been tweeting memes. So like, have they hired a social media manager? Because I know in Valve, like, they just have developers basically. They have developers, and then one developer can decide to run the social media. Maybe it's that. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we've seen Valve be more communicative, and I think that we're about to receive the biggest update that CSGO has had in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about social media manager. We both know Don Hache is the social media manager.
He's not.
Yeah.
It's a meme. You think?
No. It's definitely just part of the meme. I think it's fantastic. The interactions they have. Like, I don't know if you saw, he posted last night the
picture of the Valve launch thing.
Yeah, so he pretended to be a CS:GO dev on Twitter. Posted a picture teasing like Half-Life 3. And then CS:GO dev, the real one, replied to it saying, for every like this tweet receives, we'll delay it for another like 1 day or something. It had like 3,000 likes or something.
Yeah,
it's so
crazy
funny.
amount.
Love it. And I mean, could it actually be an indication of them shifting people more over to Artifact, or also they did announce they're going to be doing 7 new IPs.
Yeah.
Over the course of, I don't think they gave it a time.
I think it's hard to say really with the way that Valve is structured. That developers can basically work on whatever they want. Like if you want to work on Dota and then you get bored, you're allowed to move on to different games if that's what you think is best for your time. So I mean, it's natural now where Dota is right now. You know, they've got Source 2 out of the way. The game looks great UI and everything. And it makes sense. Obviously, Artifact, the new card game, trying to combat Hearthstone. It looks interesting. It looks complicated but interesting. So yeah, potentially moving developers away from Dota to Artifact makes sense.
Cool.
But I also believe that maybe some Dota devs who have helped on CS:GO or CS Source in the past are probably moving over to help with this, hopefully, Battle Royale mode.
I'm really interested in that project. I mean, I'm definitely big into Battle Royale as a whole, and we were just playing Ring of Elysium.
Ring of Elysium.
Elysium.
Ring of Elysium.
And this is really interesting because it's not actually just about getting the final kill.
Yeah.
It's actually about either getting the final kills, killing every single person, or getting into a chopper and buggering off out of there.
It adds like an extra kind of factor that feels kind of right in the setting, at least. Like you're in the mountains. The Ymir is coming, which I think is a Chinese word for frost or something, because there was a Smite hero called Ymir. So whether that word is, it's a Chinese game. So that you're in a snowy area and it gets colder and colder and it forces you to an extraction point where you have to get in the chopper.
Yeah. So,
you can swim, by the way.
You can swim underneath.
Yeah, he didn't know that yesterday and lost us the game.
All right. Beating yourself up yesterday, blaming yourself. Anyway, moving on. So I was really want to talk about the idea of like games dying, and I mentioned CS:GO, and I really wanted to compare that to where PUBG's at and what it's doing, because obviously we saw like I think it was like 1.2 million concurrent players, like a record of like maximum players, and which is ridiculous, which is far beyond anything any game should normally expect on Steam.
I thought PUBG had a peak of like 3.2 million.
You know what? Fine, it might even high. It doesn't matter. Like whatever the high is, it's then swooped down and it's been below CS:GO.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
It's in a bit of a slump.
But is it a slump or is it actually just it normalizing? Is it stabilizing?
It's hard to say. Like maybe, like for example, we haven't really tested Battle Royale that much as a game mode, so maybe it's getting repetitive. For example, like when I play Counter-Strike, it's a new game and it's like, every game is so different and like different maps and everything. But when you have these big maps and everything, you like could get really repetitive. Obviously, you're a PUBG player yourself. Like, do you have thoughts? Is PUBG getting a bit repetitive? Are you getting bored of it? Like, there's many factors to play into account.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I took a break recently, and I played a lot of Call of Duty for the first time in God knows how many years, and actually just the multiplayer, because Blackout was actually quite bugged for me. It just FPS issues, crashing all the time, so I just played multiplayer, and I like grinded the hell out of that. I think I'm on like my 4th or 3rd prestige at the moment.
No wonder why you've been looking tired every morning.
Don't play games, mate. I only play games on weekends mostly, apart from when you bug me into it now. And PUBG, I have been playing that as well. It's still a good game, but I've not been playing it as much as I used to. Fortnite I don't really play, but it's quite interesting. I'm interested to see how Fortnite do, because a lot of it seems like there's going to be a lot of artificial interest because of the money. How do you think that could affect their future development on it? Because they're one of the best development companies around at the moment. No doubt.
I mean, I wouldn't say that there's like an inflated interest because of the money. Maybe it's just we're seeing a new age where games have a lot of money and there's more people who have the chance to become professionals or semi-professionals who can make a slight living. Obviously, there's some countries where you can make a living from esports on a very small prize money and salary. So I don't want to say artificially inflate, but kind of the reason why I like Fortnite is because it has a mass consumer market. Like they've captured casual gamers and kind of made this special sauce. You know, it's like a Szechuan sauce. You know, they've kind of done that. And you know, when you do this. Although people say Fortnite isn't an esport, I see people playing the game for money. And I see thousands of people wanting to watch these players play for money. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. To me, if that happens, then it's an esport. Whether you like it or not, it's an esport. You need the fans, you need the competitiveness, and there's no doubt that when you see the most skilled players battle off, you can see their skill. It's a skilled game. So I think it's an esport, and I think it's great for the esports ecosystem and gives a new chance for like people to come in and earn some money.
And I mean, it's something that I've discussed heavily over the last couple of weeks, because it's kind of ties into a project I've been working on. So I've been educating myself quite a bit on Fortnite. But it's also really interesting because it brings in my mind a new category, and I don't think it's a new category. I just think it's the development of esports as a whole. That it's actually a lot bigger than we've kind of funneled it into being. Of it is that 5 versus 5. It's that 6 versus 6.
Yeah.
It's not that small. It's a lot bigger. It's like sports as a whole is different range of players. It could be tennis where it's 1v1 or 2v2. And so when it comes to esports, it's Fortnite, we come in with the influencers, and it's more focused on them being entertainers. Like
Yeah.
Look at Ninja, for example.
Capturing the attention of people of all ages.
Yeah,
You know?
and like you saw Richard doing the L dance. Which
Yeah.
is, I think that's the first time.
Was
I've
he
ever
was
done
he
that.
doing the L dance, or was he just calling you a loser, Tom?
I mean, a mix of both.
Mix of both.
But yeah.
Definitely.
But I mean, someone mentioned H1Z1 in chat, Mr. Frostbite. Nice try
Yeah,
himself.
I played quite a bit of H1Z1. It was fun, but it was too arcadey, and although I liked Fortnite, there was something about H1Z1 that didn't really get my attention.
One of the biggest issues is they changed too much, too often, by listening to the people too much.
Yeah,
They went a bit too far when they were listening to their fans, and that's obviously where Massive Crash came in, and the H1Z1 League went massive failure. There's obviously Realm Royale, which has taken a huge dip, because one, they're doing the exact same thing as H1Z1. They're listening to the fans too much, or not enough actually, and they're just taking away the key aspects of the game. They're failing on the aspect of the devs giving abuse out on Twitter, and on streams, which is just crazy. I mean, as a developer, you can't go around telling people not to play a game when they've got like 10,000 people watching. It's like, what are you doing?
I think these days it's hard to find like a balance with the developers who like listening to the community enough, and I think that's where Fortnite is excelling. Like, you know, they still are doing their own things, like adding go-karts and all of these kinds of things, which you wouldn't expect in like something you would call a competitive game. Yeah. But they're listening to the community and using limited time modes to get feedback, which is kind of like a beta environment where they can test new changes, and they're releasing fun new things that they want to release. So I think they've reached a perfect balance.
Yeah, I mean, I've always called it the casual competitive esport. And I think it is. I mean, you earn money from it. There's a lot of casuals in it that can still earn money from it. And it's definitely competitive. Like, don't get me wrong, I played it, and I'm terrible at building. I hate it with a passion, but I respect people who can build, because it's ridiculous, especially with a controller, which is more insane.
Yeah. People are getting good at that now.
Yeah.
Like, building really fast on a controller. To me, that's just crazy. Oh, yeah. He just brought up AK Frostbite just brought up a really important game, the culling. The culling was a game which actually like reached a lot of influencers, like people like Tim the Tapman, Dr. Disrespect were all playing Shroud, and it was a good, like, it had the kind of combat mechanics where you parry, block, and shove. I can't remember exactly. So the combat was all really skill based. But they made some changes which kind of went against what the community wanted, and now the game's dead. They released the Culling 2. The Culling 2, I tried it. It didn't take off, so now they're releasing Culling Remastered, and it's just like, no.
Just
and they follow me on Twitter. They made a great game, but they fucked up. And I hate to say it, I don't like seeing games fuck up.
No, it's definitely sad when, like, Culling was one of the first games people don't even realize it was out before H1Z1, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Fell in love with it.
It was big on Oddshot.
Yeah, it's dead. But I mean, coming back to Fortnite, and I mentioned it's obviously something I've been sort of getting close to because on a project I'm working on. So we do actually have a teaser. So if we bring up the video of Ye Olde Fanflux, it's something that we're going to be announcing tomorrow, and I'm so excited about it. There's this going on. That's going to be more coming out tomorrow. I'm not going to give out any more.
But it's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few teasers on our Twitter as well.
Yeah.
And it's going to be about you guys, the fans. You're going to be able to get directly involved. So, do you have any last thoughts, Joe?
No, I mean it was a great podcast, first one without a guest, and I think it was a great flow, and we had some people chatting and discussing things with us. So no, it was all round great. I want to say thank you to the studio team for helping us out today and getting the audio really like well set up. No, I'm happy with how things went today. And should we do the closing rocket ship or?
Go on, then, Joe.
Thank you, guys.